Morning, children. Today we are going to discuss about another important concept in the circulatory system. In the previous classes, we discussed about the lymph nodes, and the coagulation of blood, RH factor, blood groups, okay, and the blood cells, monocytes, okay, lymphocytes, eosinophils, basophils, neutrophils, RBC, body fluids, plasma, serum, like that we discussed different concepts, right? In this class, we will discuss about the structure of blood vessel. What is the next concept is? The structure of blood vessel. The structure of blood vessels. So, the vessels carrying the blood are of three types. The vessels carrying the blood are of how many types? Three types. First bit. The vessels which carrying the blood are three types. So, number one. What are the number one blood vessels are? First one, arteries. What's the first one? Arteries. What's the second one? Veins. And the third one, capillaries. Arteries, veins, and capillaries. So these are the three important structures. These vessels are hollow structures. Next important point, arteries, veins, and capillaries. Okay, right. Arteries supplies the blood from heart to body parts. Veins collects the blood from body to heart. Capillaries also supplies the blood, okay, to organs. Like that, arteries are there, veins are there. In between the arteries and veins, capillaries also there. So there will be three types of blood vessels which carries the blood: arteries, veins, and capillaries. The blood vessels are these vessels are, which structures it seems? Hollow. Hollow structures have complex walls. Hollow structures, and what they have? Complex walls are there. So their body wall is a complex in structure. So this point important. And surrounding the lumens. So complex wall surrounding the lumen. Next, the complex wall surrounding the lumen composed of the blood vessels humans are composed of three layers. The blood vessels of the humans are composed of how many layers? Three layers. What are the three layers? Tunica intima, tunica intima, tunica media, tunica externa. Come on, what are the names? Tunica intima, tunica media, tunica externa. Tunica intima, tunica media, tunica externa. These are the three layers, must and should. Once again, the blood vessels in the humans are composed of three layers: tunica intima, tunica media, tunica externa. What are those? Tunica media, tunica interna or interna, and tunica externa. So these 3 points must and should. In the name itself, answer is there. What is intima? Internal, inside of the blood vessel, inside layer, middle layer. So external, outer layer. Can you guess like this? Okay, intima, media, external. 3 layers will be there in the blood vessels. Okay, the inner layer, tunica intima, is also called a tunica interna. Tunica interna, intima. What's the function? Supports the vesicular endothelium. So tunica interna main function is, what's the main function? It supports the internal layer. So supporting work. Which one? The tunica interna supports the vesicular endothelium. Endothelium is there or not? So that endothelium gets supports by tunica interna. Okay. The next one is tunica interna supports the vascular endothelium. The middle layer, tunica media, composed of smooth muscles and extracellular matrix. What do you call? Tunica media composed of smooth muscles, okay, and an extracellular matrix. Smooth muscles and extracellular matrix, which contains Protein and elastin. This is the neat bit. Protein and elastin is there. So once again, tunica media is composed of smooth muscles, an extracellular matrix which contains a protein and elastin. So the contraction and relaxation of the muscles, the contraction and relaxation of the smooth muscles results in the contraction and relaxation of smooth muscles results in what do you call the contraction and relaxation of smooth muscles results in vasoconstriction and vasodilation. So contraction, relaxation. So what do you call the contraction and relaxation of the muscles? Okay, contraction and relaxation of the muscles. What will happen? Of smooth muscles results in vasoconstriction, vasodilation, contraction and relaxation. Once again. So the blood vessels of the human beings composed of 3 layers: tunica intima or interna, tunica media, tunica externa. The inner layer tunica intima or interna supports the vesicular endothelium, and the middle layer tunica media is composed of smooth muscles and an extracellular matrix which contains a protein and what you call elastin. The middle layer tunica media composed of smooth muscles and extracellular matrix which contains what? Protein and elastin. So in the middle layer a protein will be there and elastin will be there. The contraction and relaxation of the smooth muscles results in the vasoconstriction and vasodilation. Next come to the outer layer. What is the outer layer? Tunica externa. The outer layer or tunica externa or tunica adventitia. What is another? Tunica intima or interna. Middle layer tunica media, but outer layer or tunica externa are called tunica adventitia. What do you call? Tunica adventitia are also called externa. Tunica externa. Outside is there, no? External. That's why externa are also called tunica adventitia. Is composed of which one? The tunica externa, tunica adventitia is composed of which one? Come on, what that is? That is called collagen fibers. What do you call? Collagen fibers. Tunica externa, tunica adventitia is composed of which one? The collagen fibers. Which one? The collagen fibers. Next come to the structure of blood vessels we are discussing. Okay, in the structure of blood vessels, especially we are discussing the arteries. Next one, what? The arteries. Artery supply, I said or not? Arteries very important, which will be carries the blood from heart to muscles, like that, which I told you. So that's the main important function of arteries. Next, the blood vessels that carry blood away from the heart. I said no. The blood vessels that carry blood away from the heart. So from heart to body parts. So that's why carry blood away from the heart are called arteries. Once again, we are discussing the first blood vessel very deeply. Arteries. What I said, arteries? Arteries carries the blood from heart to body parts. So the blood vessels that carry blood away from the heart are called what you called? Arteries. Okay, the arteries takes the blood from heart and sends to body parts. So take away the blood from the heart are called arteries. So there are different types of arteries: pulmonary arteries, systemic aorta, coronary arteries. Okay, like that, different arteries are there. But biggest artery, systemic aorta. Okay, it will come. So the arteries usually lie deep. Very important point. Inside the body, very deep. So arteries lies. Now what you are seeing visually, you are seeing right now, that is called veins. But arteries we can't see. Why we can't see the arteries? Why? Because The arteries usually lie deep inside the body. So inside the body, the arteries are there. Okay. So which one is visible are called veins. Okay. Next, the arteries walls, thick walls. Very important point. The arteries walls are thick and non-collapsible. What do you call? The arteries walls are thick and non-collapsible. It won't be collapse. Okay. The arteries walls are thick and non-collapsible. Not collapsible to withstand high pressure. So very important. So they can bear the high pressure. In arteries, too much pressure. Why? Because heart will pump the blood, right? So that pumping pressure. So the arteries can bear. So that's what I'm telling to you. The arteries have high pressure than the veins. Very important need bit. In the need bit, what they will ask, in which blood vessel have the more blood pressure? Arteries, veins, blood capillaries, and none of the above. So immediate answer is arteries. You should have to tell. Why? Arteries have a thick. Arteries have what? A thick, non-collapsible walls to withstand the high pressures. Next, the walls are absent. Arteries don't have walls. Why? Because pumping only, pressure is more. One direction only, from heart to body parts, not body parts to heart. So that's why there is no walls in the arteries. Another important bit. What is another important bit? There is no walls in the arteries, or simply say the walls are absent and have a narrow lumen. Lumen is very narrow. So what I'm telling is, in the arteries the walls are absent and the lumen is narrow lumen. Next, all arteries carries the, another important bit, all arteries carries the oxygenated blood. All arteries carries the oxygenated blood except the pulmonary artery. What I am saying, all arteries carries the oxygenated blood except the which one? The pulmonary artery. Why the pulmonary artery? The pulmonary artery carries the which one? Okay, all arteries carries oxygenated blood except pulmonary artery. Why? The pulmonary artery carries the deoxygenated blood from heart, right ventricle to lungs. So you can say all arteries carries the oxygenated blood, but pulmonary artery carries the deoxygenated blood from where to where? Heart to lungs. That is also you should have to remember. Next, come to the largest artery. What is the largest artery? The largest artery is the aorta. What is the largest artery? The largest artery is aorta. Why it is aorta? The largest artery, 2.5 centimeters in diameter and 2 millimeter thick. 2.5 centimeters in diameter and 2 millimeter thickness. That is the reason. That is the reason the artery, which one? The systemic aorta or aorta is the largest artery. Why? It 2.5 centimeters in diameter and 2 millimeter thickness. Okay, this point you should have to remember. Branch into, and this aorta branch into smaller arteries and culminates into the tissues as a feed arteries. What it will be? So branch into smaller arteries and culminate into the tissues and feed arteries. So that is a very important. So small arteries and culminate into the tissues as feed arteries. In the tissues, the arteries branches into arterioles. In the tissues, what will happen? These arterioles branches into arterioles. In the tissues, the arteries branches into arterioles. In the tissues, the arteries branches into arterioles. Once again, the largest artery, the aorta, Why? Because 2.5 centimeters in diameter and 2 millimeters thickness. It's a branch into smaller, this will be separate into again small arteries and culminates into the tissues and feed arteries. In the tissues, the arteries branches into arterioles. Next important point. As blood enter into the arteriole, it may have pressure. What is that one? So blood enter into the arterioles. Arteries, arterioles. So blood enter into the arterioles. It may have a pressure of 85 mmHg. 85 mmHg blood pressure. So when the blood enter into the arteriole, arterioles, it may have a pressure of 85 mmHg. So 11.3 kilopascals. 85 mmHg when the blood enter into the arterioles. Okay, so these arterioles have lot of blood pressure. How much? 85 mmHg, 11.3 kilopascals. But as it leaves and flows into the capillaries, the pressure drops into how much? 35 mmHg, 4.7 kilopascals. So what I am telling, in the arterioles the blood pressure is 85 mmHg. When it leaves and flow into capillaries, from arterioles to it entering into the capillaries, the pressure drops how much? 35 mmHg. It's a 4.7 kilopascals. So arterioles 85 mm, arterioles to capillaries 35 mm. So 4.7 kilopascals. 1 mmHg is equal to 0.13 kilopascal. 1 mmHg is equal to how much? 0.13 kilopascal. The SI unit of mmHg is kilopascal. Millimeter per mercury is kilopascal. Next important, arterioles are, we are discussing about arterioles, arteries to arterioles. The arterioles are small, narrow, thin walled which are connected to capillaries. Arterioles are small. Okay, what I said? Arterioles are small. So arteries divide into arterioles. So arterioles are small, narrow, thin walled which are connected to the capillaries. So arterioles are small, narrow and thin walled which are connected to the capillaries. A small sphincter. Now we came the another important need bit. A small sphincter. What is that sphincter? Come on, guess it. A small sphincter lies at the junction between the arterioles and capillaries to regulate the blood supply. So near the arterioles and capillaries, between the arterioles are small, narrow, thin walled which are connected to the capillaries. A small sphincter lies at the junction between the arterioles and capillaries. Arterioles and capillaries to regulate the blood supply. To regulate the blood supply. So arterioles to capillaries. In between the connection of arterioles and capillaries, one sphincter. That sphincter lies at the junction between the arterioles and capillaries to regulate the blood supply. Now another important point I am telling to you. What is that? Arteries do not always branch into arterioles. So arteries, arterioles, like that we discussed, right? Sometimes arteries to anastomosis. What do you call that is? Anastomosis also will become. They are also vessel-like structures only. So instead of arterioles, sometimes arteries converted into anastomosis. What do you call? Anastomosis. So like this, the information is there about the arteries, anastomosis and arterioles. Sometimes arterioles, sometimes anastomosis. So arteries we can give arterioles, sometimes anastomosis. These all are main function what? They carries the blood from heart to body parts. Okay, so like this, different points are there about arteries: tunica interna, tunica media, tunica externa. So what you call tunica media, tunica interna supports the endothelium. Middle layer have smooth muscles, consists of protein and elastin. So because of these muscle proteins, the vasoconstriction, vasodilation. Externa is composed of which one? Collagen fibers. So arteries, the blood vessels are arteries. Main function takes the blood from the artery to body parts. So non-collapsible. So they can bear the pressures. Except the pulmonary artery, remaining all carries the oxygenated blood. So the largest artery aorta 2.5 centimeters in diameter, 2 millimeter thickness. Smaller arteries and culminate into the tissues and feed arteries. In the tissues, the arteries branches into arterioles, 8.5 mm HGBP, 11.3 kilopascal, but it leaves and flows into the capillary. The pressure drops into 35 mm Hg. So 1 mm Hg is called 0.113 kilopascals. SI unit of mm Hg is kilopascal. Arterioles are small, narrow, thin walled which are connected to capillaries. A small sphincter lies at the junction between the arterioles and capillaries to regulate the blood supply. Arterioles always not only give the what you called the arteries, not only give the arterioles. So sometimes anastomosis also will be come.